She was known as the most ruthless CEO in the city, but when she adopted a teenage girl who couldn't tell the truth to save her life, everything she thought she knew about family was about to change forever. Victoria Sterling was everything you'd expect from a billionaire CEO. At 42, she commanded boardrooms with her piercing green eyes and sharp business suits, never backing down from a fight. Her penthouse office overlooked the Manhattan skyline, and her reputation for closing impossible deals was legendary. But beneath the polished exterior was a woman who had built walls so high that even she had forgotten what it felt like to truly connect with another human being. Then there was 15-year-old Maya Rodriguez, a girl who had been bounced between foster homes for 3 years. With her wild curly hair, defiant brown eyes, and a mouth that seemed incapable of speaking the truth, Maya was everything Victoria wasn't. Where Victoria was controlled and calculated, Maya was chaotic and unpredictable. Where Victoria valued honesty above all else in business, Maya lied about everything, from what she had for breakfast to where she'd been after school. The social worker had warned Victoria during their first meeting, "Maya is challenging." She's been returned by 4 families already. The lying is compulsive. She'll tell you the sky is purple if she thinks it'll get her out of trouble. Are you absolutely sure about this? Victoria had simply nodded, signing the papers with the same confidence she used to sign million-dollar contracts. She'd built her empire from nothing. Surely she could handle one troubled teenager. The decision to adopt hadn't come from some eternal instinct Victoria thought she'd lost. It came from a board meeting where her biggest rival, Jonathan Creek, had sneered across the conference table. "The problem with you, Victoria, is that you're so cold and calculating, you've forgotten what it means to be human. No wonder you're all alone. Who could ever love someone like you?" The words had hit harder than any business loss ever could. That night, staring out at the city lights, Victoria had made a choice that surprised even herself. She would prove that she could care for someone, that she was more than just the ice queen everyone believed her to be. Adoption seemed like the perfect solution, structured with clear goals and outcomes. But Maya Rodriguez was about to teach her that some things in life couldn't be controlled with contracts and corporate strategies. The first month was a disaster. Maya lied about everything, and Victoria tried to handle it like a business problem. She set up elaborate systems to catch the lies, security cameras, scheduled check-ins, detailed questionnaires about Maya's day. But for every trap Victoria set, Maya found a way around it. "Where were you after school today?" Victoria would ask. "At the library, studying for my math test." Maya would reply without missing a beat, even though Victoria knew there was no math test and the library had been closed for renovations all week. Victoria tried everything: rewards for honesty, consequences for lies, even hiring a therapist who specialized in behavioral issues. Nothing worked. If anything, Maya's lies became more elaborate and creative. "Why do you lie about everything?" Victoria finally exploded one evening after discovering that Maya had created an entirely fictional best friend named Sarah, complete with detailed backstories and imaginary text conversations. Maya just shrugged, her eyes guarded, because the truth never gets you anywhere. People only hear what they want to hear anyway. Victoria felt like she was trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Every corporate instinct told her to cut her losses. But something about Maya's defiance reminded her of herself at that age, angry, alone, and absolutely certain that the world was against her. The breakthrough came on a rainy Thursday evening 6 months after the adoption. Victoria was working late in her home office when she heard crying coming from Maya's room. She found the teenager hunched over her laptop, tears streaming down her face. "Maya, what's wrong?" For once, Maya didn't have a ready lie. Instead, she turned the laptop screen toward Victoria. On it was a news article with the headline, "Local woman dies in car accident. Leave behind teenage daughter." Victoria's breath caught as she read the article. The woman in the photo looked exactly like Maya, or rather, Maya looked exactly like her. The article was dated 3 years ago. "This is my mom," Maya whispered, her voice barely audible. "She didn't abandon me like I told everyone. She didn't choose drugs over me or run away with some boyfriend. She died trying to get to my school play because she'd promised she'd be there, even though she was working a double shift." Victoria sank into the chair beside Maya's bed, The pieces finally starting to come together. Why didn't you tell anyone? Because being an orphan is pathetic, Maya said, wiping her nose on her sleeve. Being abandoned is at least interesting. People feel sorry for you, but they also think you must have done something to deserve it. But being an orphan? That's just sad. And I was tired of being sad. Victoria stared at this girl she'd been living with for months, seeing her clearly for the first time. Every lie Maya had told wasn't about deception. It was about survival. She'd been crafting a version of reality where she had some control, where her pain had a reason. So, when you said your mom was coming to visit last month, I take the bus to the cemetery, Maya admitted. I sit by her grave and tell her about school and about you. I tell her that you're trying really hard, even though I'm making it impossible. Victoria felt something crack open her chest, a feeling she'd been suppressing for so long she'd forgotten it existed. Without thinking, she pulled Maya into her arms, and for the first time since the adoption, Maya didn't pull away. I lie too, Victoria whispered into Maya's curly hair. I tell everyone I adopted you because I wanted to prove I could care for someone. But the truth is I was lonely. I built this whole life that looks perfect from the outside, but I eat dinner alone every night, and the only people who talk to me want something from me. Maya pulled back to look at her. Really? I tell people I don't need anyone, but I was dying inside. And you've been the most honest person in my life, even with all your lies. That doesn't make sense. Victoria smiled through her own tears. Your lies tell me more about who you really are than most people's truths tell me about them. You lie because you're protecting yourself, because you've been hurt. But underneath all of that, you're brave and creative, and you love your mother so much that you'd rather people think she abandoned you than know that the world just took her away. The changes didn't happen overnight. Maya still lied sometimes, especially when she was scared or feeling overwhelmed. But Victoria learned to look beneath the lies to understand what Maya really needed. And Maya began to see that Victoria's cold exterior was just another kind of protective lie, a way to keep people from getting close enough to hurt her. They started having dinner together every night, and Victoria found herself leaving work earlier to make sure she was home. Maya began bringing home friends, real ones this time, and Victoria discovered she actually enjoyed having a house full of teenagers, even when they ate all her expensive snacks and left their shoes everywhere. The biggest change came during a board meeting 8 months after the adoption. Jonathan Creek made another snide comment about Victoria's personal life, expecting to see her flinch. Instead, she smiled. You know what, Jonathan? You're right. I used to be cold and calculating. But I've learned something recently. Sometimes the best business decisions come from the heart, not the head. And the best families are built on understanding, not perfection. After the meeting, she called Maya to check in, something that would have seemed impossible a year earlier. How was school? She asked. Terrible, Maya replied. I failed my history test, got detention for talking back to Mr. Peterson, and I think I'm getting a cold. Victoria laughed. Thank you for telling me the truth. Thank you for wanting to hear it. 2 years later, Victoria stood in the audience watching Maya give a valedictorian speech at her high school graduation. The girl who had once lied about everything was now speaking her truth to hundreds of people. My mom used to tell me that families aren't just about blood, Maya said into the microphone. They're about the people who choose to love you, even when you're not very lovable. My adoptive mother taught me that sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is believing in who they can become, not punishing them for who they used to be. Victoria wiped tears from her eyes as Maya continued. She also taught me that we all lie sometimes, to others and to ourselves. But real love happens when someone sees through your lies and loves you anyway. After the ceremony, as they walked to the car, Maya turned to Victoria. I have something to confess. Victoria braced herself, old habits dying hard. I've been lying about what I want to study in college. Oh, I told everyone I want to be a lawyer, like you wanted to be before you went into business. But I actually want to study social work. I want to help kids like me, kids who think they have to lie to survive. Victoria stopped walking and pulled Maya into a hug. That's the most beautiful truth you've ever told me. Sometimes the people who lie the most are the ones who need the truth the most, The truth that they're worthy of love exactly as they are. And sometimes the people who seem to have everything are actually the ones who have forgotten how to feel anything at all. In the end, Victoria and Maya didn't just find a family. They found their way back to their own hearts, one honest moment at a time. If you like that story, please subscribe. Thank you, and until next time,